Welcome to the playground, and I'm your host, Eddie Fluellen. And tonight, my guest is Jannetta Warren. For those who don't know her, she is famously known as the First Lady of Zapp. And everybody remembers the band Zapp. Jannetta is a female vocalist behind Zapp. Jannetta, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good to have you on the show. Thank you so much for doing this.
It's a pleasure. I'm so glad to be here talking with you today. We go way back.
We do. As Jannetta had mentioned before we started, she said this has been a while since you've done like an interview like this, which I can't believe because I mean you've done so much. I'll start out by saying this, and there was something that I read just earlier as far as like some of your credits and all that stuff, and I've known you've done like a lot over the years, but I mean you kind of quietly become like the Sound of Dayton. I mean, with all the people that you've worked with. I have Zapp. I have let's see, Sugarfoot with the Players. I have Shirley Murdoch. Yeah. I have, let's see, shall we go on?
Yeah, I did quite a few. I did some work here in Dayton.
You
doing it. You know, anytime somebody called me and asked me, you know, I'm there.
I love it.
I'm that background singer.
Hey,
doo-wop pop girl. I don't mind being the doo-wop pop girl.
I love it. Like I said, I'm going down the list, and the list just, I'm like, what? And then, like I said, just, you know, and maybe it's just my ignorance. I mean, I'm thinking she's been doing all this like quietly. So yeah. Really cool. Well, let me ask you, as far as like when you first, you know, we're going to go back to way back in the beginning.
Okay.
I know that's only like a couple of years, but back to the beginning.
Right.
So as far as your singing, vocalist here, famous vocalist, what started you? What was the thing that brought people's attention to your singing?
I was singing throughout high school,
mm-hmm.
and I was singing like in 2 and 3 choirs at the same time.
Wow. Okay.
And I was also singing on the weekends with the local band.
Okay.
And they were an all-white band called the Curics of Honey.
Okay.
And it was me and 2 other girls, my best friend Marshall.
Mm-hmm.
And
I have a cousin named Marshall. I'm just putting that out there. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, that's not such a common name.
It's not.
It's a pretty name.
It's not. Let me just ask real quick. Do you remember where Marshall is from?
She's from Dayton.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm from Akron, Ohio. So yeah, my cousin Marshall is from Akron. So
okay.
Just want to make sure. But she did go to college in Columbus, so I didn't know if maybe, you know, you guys cross paths there. So okay. Anyway.
Yeah, and we call her Shelly. So.
Oh, okay.
But me and her, Shelly and her mother, we were singing background for the local band, the all-white
mm-hmm.
band,
mm-hmm.
who was actually an Elvis impersonator.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And you said this was during your high school years?
Yeah.
Okay.
And during that time, Larry and Roger heard about us. You know, they needed some background singers for their upcoming album.
That would be Larry and Roger Troutman.
Larry and Roger Troutman, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so they heard about us. They came over to the house and auditioned us right there in the Marshall's living room.
Wow. Just like that?
Just like that. But
now, how long had you been with this band before that?
I guess only maybe a year.
Okay.
And we were teenagers. I think she and I had probably just turned 16 years old or something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, 15, 16.
Mm-hmm.
And but she and I, we sung all the time. You know, we was just out and about, you know, whatever events was going on, you know, we was trying to be there.
Right,
you know,
right.
Grown.
Right.
And at the same time, I was also singing with another local band called Pleasure.
You stayed busy.
We didn't do anything though. You know, we practiced a lot, but we never got to do any gigs.
Okay.
So with Honey.
But you know, that's what we did back in high school and junior high. We practiced. That's all we did. We practiced for that gig that was coming 2 years from now.
Right. So we prepared us, you know, we was ready when it happened, we was ready.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So Roger and Larry came over to the house and we was singing, you know, we was like doing our thing, and it's like, yeah, y'all could sing, y'all sound like some white women though. Now let me hear y'all sing.
Oh, okay. Know? All right.
And, you know, we got to cut up, you got the best of my love, whoa, whoa, all that kind of stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We was putting it out there. And I think at the time my favorite one was Cheryl Lynn. So I was singing
Oh,
"Got to
wow.
Be Real,
Right.
Got to Be Real." So so that's how we got started. And
And
from
you didn't
there,
pick any slouches as far as singing. I mean, the Emotions and Cheryl Lynn.
those were my favorites at the time, man. I
And
didn't leave home without those two CDs. Well,
and
albums.
and just that little bit, right? And just that little bit that you sang, you didn't lose anything over the years either.
Oh, well, thank you.
Please, please,
And
it's
you're gonna
there.
be hearing that real soon. You're gonna be hearing
I
that.
hear. Okay, okay, love it, love it. But we're
Yeah.
gonna be talking about what's coming real soon in a minute.
Okay.
So going back before, I mean, even high school and all that, was there anybody in your family or friends that recognized that, hey, Jannetta, did you hear this little girl? I mean, was there anybody in your family or friends that recognized that?
It was really it was my teachers at school encouraging me to say, hey, you know what, have you joined the choir yet? Little girl, you need to be in the choir.
Mm-hmm.
And so at 5 years old, I ended up singing in the choir. I've been singing in the choir all my life.
Right. Okay. And do you remember what you sang then that got their attention? I know we're going way back.
Yeah, that's way back. But I do remember I sung, it's a small world after
Okay.
all.
All right.
It's a small world after
To our Disney
all.
fans. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then all the little Christmas stuff in the Easter bonnet, in my Easter bonnet,
Wow.
and
Okay.
all the thrills upon it.
Okay.
I remember.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then from there, my uncle, I was real young, and my uncle would get me up tell my mother and them to come get me up out the bed. And come downstairs and sing Let's Stay Together.
Whoa.
And I always credit that as my first paying gig because my uncle, he would give me a quarter, a quarter.
There it is.
A long
There it
way
is.
back then, all that penny candy.
You're a professional now. You're getting paid.
Yeah.
And you said to get you up first thing in the morning and come down and sing.
Yeah. It would be midnight, them sitting up drinking.
What? That late?
Come down here and sing Let's Get It On.
Let's
get it on.
Let's stay together.
But yeah, Let's Get It On ended up being his other favorite song. And and my mother was like, when you gonna sing that song? Let's Get It On. I didn't know what I was singing, but I was singing.
Right. Wow. So you're going through high school and you're singing with like the different bands and this and that and the other. And then you were going to go into Roger and Larry and how, they plucked you out of the band that you were playing with at the time.
Yeah, they did.
What was that like when now, did they have something? Were they working on something or you just knew that this was going to be big or?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Well, they had some stuff in the works already. They were recording the first album, the More Bounce album.
Right.
And they just, they asked us, did we want to come to Detroit and sing background on the album? It was just as simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
And we said, yeah, okay. So we went to United Sounds and we started recording. And the first person I walked into this big, huge studio, which I had never been into a big studio in my life. And there was Bootsy and Roger over the console, and they had More Bounce on. And everybody was bobbing. And then they was talking over that loud music, and then they was talking to me. I'm like, I didn't know what they were saying.
That big bass and those big drums and those loud claps.
It was loud. That's why I can't hear today.
I'll share a story because you just did something that just totally took me back. And this is a story that I'll always remember as far as like Zapp and when you guys performed. Switch and Zapp were on tour. And I forgot the city that I want to say Chicago. I forgot the city that we had arrived in, but we had literally just gotten off the plane there. And just as we gotten off the plane, you and the group had just walked by the gate that we were getting off. This is pre-September 11th, of course, right? Mm-hmm. So we're walking by the gate and Roger, like just from nowhere, runs up to Greg and screams, "You owe me $20. I want my $20 right now." And we're all looking at him like, wait a minute, what? And we're all like right there in the airport just falling out laughing. Because Roger, he made it, you know, he made a huge scene right there in the middle of the airport.
That's Roger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then later on, I guess like either that night or the next night, we go in to do the concert. And what you just reminded me of when you did that, you know, to more bounce to the ounce. I sat back in the back of the auditorium and I watched you guys perform. And needless to say, you guys like totally threw down. And I think the last song, as a matter of fact, I'm sure it was More Bounce to the Ounce because that was like the huge hit, right?
Yeah.
Jannetta, like I said, I'm standing in the back of the auditorium, and this is when Jerry curls were huge, right? And as I always tell everybody the story, I've never seen so much Jerry curl flying all over the auditorium in my life. Everybody was just hard. And I expected to see, like, I mean, whiplash. I expect to see heads rolled off. I mean, they were, I mean, funking like really, really hard. So when you just did that, you just totally took me back.
You took me back too to the stage where that stuff was burning my eyes so bad. Oh, that stuff was the worst.
Awesome, really? but you had, I mean, that had to be fun though too. I mean, as you were going through.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good time.
What was it like once you guys hit? I mean, you hear your record on the radio and all that. Once you guys hit, I mean, what was that like? I mean, needless to say, you guys like just went from probably like spending a lot of time in the studio to a lot of time on the road.
Mm-hmm. We did.
Yeah.
It happened so fast. It's like by the time we got back from Detroit, it was like, you know, More Bounces on the radio. And I'm driving along and I hear it and I'm like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
It just didn't
Mm-hmm.
register like it did for everybody else. So I got back to school after that weekend where I've been recording all weekend in the studio doing the Roger album.
Okay, when you say you got back to school, you mean what, high school?
Yeah, I was in school.
Okay. All right. Okay. And all this is going on while you're in high school.
All this is going on. Oh, you all songs on the radio. And that More Bounce was on the radio. But the reason why they registered it with me because Be All Right was on the radio too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. I gotta go.
I got homework to do.
I gotta go. I got things to do. Because immediately after that, you know, and then the weekend came and we went right back to United Sound to work on some more.
Mm-hmm.
So it was nonstop. And then I think that summer of 79, was it summer of 79? Well, anyway, More Bounce came out
right.
at 80.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, 79 because I was still in school and I was graduating that year.
Mm-hmm.
But we took off on, you know, he asked everybody in the room, me and the other girls,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to go on the road. And I guess they said, well, obviously they said no.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, sure, I'll go.
Mm-hmm.
Said, okay.
Uh-huh.
I had nothing to go on except him saying, okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
come on and go. And I promise you, I'll take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the promise I went on the road with.
Wow. Okay.
You know, that he told my mother, I will take care of her like a daughter.
Wow.
I had no contract, no money, didn't know what I was going to get paid or anything. He said, because we all going in this fresh and new together.
Mm-hmm.
We are Zapp. I said, okay.
Okay.
Well, Zapp on, I'm coming.
There you go.
Got in there without him guys.
You say Zapp on. Right. And that's cool that your family was like on board with that.
My family was on board.
They totally trusted.
With all those men too.
Right.
I knew how I was raised. My mother knew how she raised me. You know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And there were obviously, I guess, no problems with dealing with him. And I mean, they did take care of you. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's loaded.
Okay. All right. Well, you had fun out there. I mean, it was a good experience for you.
And with that being said, had I not gone with them and been in the group Zapp, I wouldn't be the First Lady of Zapp that I am today. I was the first one, the original, and that was me on all the first albums, the hit albums.
Excellent. I hear you. And just like you said, the First Lady of Zapp.
Yeah.
I love it.
David nicknamed me that.
Did he? Hey, it is what it is, right? I mean, that is who you are. And I mean, that was, again, I need to tell you how huge a group that was. And you know, how crazy that must have been for you at the time.
Yeah, I mean, crazy.
But exciting at the same time.
Watching you guys out there on the road too, that was crazy because them girls almost killed y'all.
That was our first tour. And you know, as you guys went on tour after, the first album. You guys went out at the first album, right? We didn't go out until after our fourth album. you know, so there was always like this stuff that was like being built up because, you know, we hadn't gone out, you know, so you guys were like the ones we were, you know, you guys had the experience and we didn't. So we just kind of, you know, hey, you know,
Really? And
let's
I
go out
always
here and
thought
have
you
fun.
all had the experience.
Not on
Because
the
you all
road.
were out before, well, your
Mm-mm.
songs were out before
Mm-hmm,
ours.
mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we had albums out and all that stuff, but we didn't go out until the fourth album. So
Okay.
yeah, crazy time. So growing up, then, what were your like influences that you listened to? Who did you like to listen to, or pattern, or did you just like, hey, this is my voice, they pattern after me?
No, you know all vocalists have their favorites, and my favorites were first and foremost Gladys Knight.
Oh wow.
You know, seeing somebody like that on TV that looked like you with such a huge platform and everything. I love me some Gladys. And then to be able to go out on tour with her.
What?
I'm my auntie Gladys.
Now, when you went on tour with her, do you mean with Zapp or with her?
Yeah, I was with Zapp.
Okay.
I was with Zapp. You know, we're on the same marquee together.
Right.
The same bill together.
Okay.
And of course Shaka. You know, you cannot be a vocalist and not try to be Shaka Khan.
Right. And there are those where it's like, maybe you shouldn't, you know.
Yeah. But the funkiest lady on earth, you know, the queen of funk right there is Shaka Khan.
Of course.
And my other favorite was Tina Marie.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I loved me some Tina to the day she left here.
Wow.
And I still love me some Tina Marie.
There you go.
You can count on, you know, I'm probably the only one still carrying CDs around. But CDs are in my car. And the last car I bought, they didn't even have a slot for CD players. I was like, I don't want this car.
What? Yep. That's the thing now too. When I think I was the last one on earth to buy a CD. I held on tightly to my albums. You know, so I mean, when they started converting and all that stuff, I'm like, this won't last. This won't last. And you know,
and here we
live and die by those words.
Yeah.
Right. So did you do in your career? Have you done any like songwriting or anything like that, or?
I've always written songs, but to actually have someone to perform them or pick them up, no. But I've always been a writer. Writing when I was in a band on the road constantly. That's what I would do at night. I would go back to my hotel room and write songs. You know, while the guys were gallivanting around.
Wow.
Know, that's what I would do.
And this is gonna be coming out on a. You had mentioned like some things that are gonna be coming. Is that gonna be coming soon?
Yeah.
Do I hear that?
I'm getting ready to drop my first single on October the 2nd, which is my birthday.
Wow! Awesome! What you got going on now? What can we look forward to besides that beautiful voice?
Well, you know what? I forgot. And I'm also, well, you don't want to get to this part yet, but I finally finished my book that I wrote the book some time ago, probably been finished for 10 years. But my book will be coming out soon too. So that's a good thing.
Awesome.
And
is there a title?
COVID, I was like, I don't know if I want to drop it right now. You know, this is just not a good time. Yeah.
Is there a title yet?
The title is called Girl in the Band, My Journey with Zapp.
Girl in the Band. I love that.
My Journey with Zapp. Yeah.
And it's on the way. We don't have a date yet for that.
No. Not yet.
Well, hey, I'm hoping that I can say honestly that you heard it here first.
That's true. That's right.
I got the scoop. Jannetta Warren dropping her first book, The Girl in the Band. My time was at? Is that what it is?
Girl in the Band. My journey. I forgot the name.
I understand.
Girl in the Band. Girl in the Band. My journey was that.
Okay. My journey was that. Do we know how soon, or is that like, you know, we're going to wait until after COVID? Or?
Probably in spring.
Excellent. We'll have that to look forward to, along with the new CD, which you said is going to be dropping on October 2nd. Awesome. So as far as now, we're in like these COVID days and all that, you know, the whole COVID virus, you know, this, I can't even say the word because I hate saying it. Okay.
Yeah.
So
It has really messed us up this year
it
as
really
far as
has.
singers, musicians. Because I know this time last year I had been through so many concerts, and with my own band, the Zapp Anthology, you know, the original Zapp, we got together, a few of us, some people that used to work with us in the studio and on the road and stuff like that. We put them all together, and we are now Zapp Anthology, and that's me, Greg,
Excellent.
and Bobby.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Greg Jackson, Bobby Glover, and myself, and Eddie Barber, the trumpet player.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you little trumpet player.
Actually, Greg is a trumpet. I'm the trombone.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah, but Greg Williams is the trumpet. So you're doing the Zapp Anthology. How's that been going for you?
It's been going good up until COVID.
Yeah, right.
Actually, because we have a cruise. We had to cancel our cruise in March. Well, actually, this is the third time probably our cruise is getting canceled.
Ain't that right? Please. Please. That was the same thing. We were supposed to go on a cruise as well, and that whole thing ended up, you know. In fact, I was getting ready to go on the South by Southwest tour back in March, and literally I came home from rehearsal and breaking news: South by Southwest canceled. And I'm like, that's when I knew, okay, this is no joke. This is serious, you know.
Yeah.
And needless to say, you, along with all my other musician friends, their calendars went from crazy busy to nothing.
To nothing.
You know. So what are you doing?
Out on social media,
right,
trying to see what everybody else is doing.
There you go. And thank goodness for that, because I got you here as a result. So
that's right.
Thank you. So what have you been doing to keep yourself busy, to keep things interesting for yourself?
The good thing is my son, he's 20 years old, and now he's a musician, and he's a writer and a producer. And so I get the knock at 2 a.m. or something to my mom, you sleep? Come put this down for me. You know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've been singing background for him.
That's awesome.
That's real convenient too, though, for me as well, because now I get him back.
Oh, okay.
You know, where are my tracks? I need some tracks, and I'll hear something I really like, and I'll get up out the bed and I come in here and say, I want that track right there.
There
no,
you go.
Mom, you can't have it. I'm like, who feeds you?
Right.
Who's paying for the electricity around here?
So can we expect a couple of those tracks on your new CD?
From his?
Mm-hmm.
No, he got his own thing going. He's on YouTube right now.
Oh, wow.
Instagram, YouTube, all that kind of stuff. He's 99 Wavy. And,
that's his name on YouTube?
Yeah, on YouTube.
99 Wavy. W-A-V-Y?
W-A-V-Y.
Got it.
He's got a couple of songs out. He's got a whole CD out there. But the ones that I personally like is Text Me Back.
Okay.
And everybody just singing, text me back. They just love his little song, Text Me Back.
Nice.
And he's got another one he did called Why You Make Me Wanna Cry. Anyway, we love that one too.
I was going to say, I like where that one's going. I like that one.
Likes that. And it seemed like all the audience loves that one. The older audience loves that one.
Right. Cool.
So make sure you check that one out, Eddie, because all his other stuff, I can't listen to it.
Okay, we won't ask why. We'll just kind of leave that there.
For that.
Now, did you say just a minute ago that he comes and, you know, he's like working on the track or whatever, and he comes and gets you out of bed to come down and sing the track?
Yes.
Let's see. Where did I hear that from before? Hold on. Give me a minute. So this has been pretty much like your whole life in the business, right? Yeah. Come and get you out of bed and sing.
Yeah.
And like I said, the way you were singing earlier, I mean, you were still hitting those notes, so I can see why. I would be doing the same thing, you know. Wake up, come down here and sing, come and sing. So as far as like,
I asked him too. I'm like, are you putting that down? You put my time down?
There you go.
Putting the hours.
There you go. Let me ask you, as far as like and I guess we're talking like pre-COVID, and I mean even now, because people are still coming out with some things and dropping them, this and that and the other. What do you think of the nature of the business, where the music business has come, where you were like an integral part of it, through through all these years and through COVID and where we're going? What do you think? What do you think of the nature of the business?
Well, you know, we're trying, you know, in this time, we're trying to keep what we did alive, trying to make sure that these kids are educated and know about what we did. And then you got this new era. Well, is hip hop new? Because hip hop's been around a long time now. And you know, they try to dismiss,
reinvent it.
Yeah. And they're taking from what we did and just put a new spin on it. And it's the same thing as I tell my son all the time. He gets mad at me. And I walk in the room in a heartbeat. Oh, that sounds like a little Barry White. That sounds like New Birth. That sounds like. He said, Mama. I said, you know what? It's already been born before.
You went to New Birth.
So he's up listening to these tracks, I guess, and I'm like, what are you doing listening to that? I said, oh, you can't use that anyway, because Jamie Foxx already used that.
Wow.
Isley Brothers. I'm like, everybody uses Isley Brothers, Switch. And then I didn't even know. I'm sitting up here listening to something the other day. I know I got off track a little bit, but
no, that's okay.
And then I heard something I heard Boys to Men or Jodeci or somebody singing one of you all songs.
Boys to Men.
And then I started playing it like it was brand new. And then I heard another song. What was that song? And Eddie, I've been playing that song. It was one of you all songs. I think Bobby sung it.
Okay.
And it's so fresh and new to me. So now I'm playing it like it's a brand new song.
Thank you.
And I guess it was one of you all's maybe more underrated songs.
Okay.
But anyway, trying to pick this thing up now and what they're doing today and these new artists. I tell you, these new producers and new artists, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what I hear. Some Megan Thee Stallion, and I hear
I just heard that name the other day. I just heard that name.
Huge. And then when I hear the stuff, I'm like, is that what y'all doing? Where the lyrics at? Where's the lyrical content? Where's the poetry? And a lot of all that is missing today. And then I know, and they're like, Mom, you're so old school. I'm like, but listen, John Legend's trying to tell you all something, because he's kind of got both of it happening.
There you go.
He can take the old and make it new, and you all are loving it.
Great example.
And he's an Ohio boy, isn't he?
I probably have it wrong. I hope I don't. Is it Toledo?
Is it?
I'm not sure.
Know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But either way, Ohio boy, just like
Yellow
you said.
Springs or somewhere. I don't know.
Okay.
He's from around here somewhere, because he's always in Dayton, and he's always
okay.
Out, like the tornado relief thing that we had. It was huge. Him, Dave Chappelle, and when Dave Chappelle came to help out to raise funds, I mean, the people from everywhere that came to that concert.
And you're right. Everybody's down there in that area.
Everybody was, And
what do you think? I mean, growing up in the Ohio side, I mean, Ohio had a thing, and I tell people that all the time. Ohio had a thing back in the day.
It was something in the water for sure. And I used to always get asked, why are you still living in Dayton? Or why didn't you move? You had so many options and places to move to. And I'm like, why would I move when I had everything I wanted right here? As a vocalist and a lover of funk music. My first love is funk music. And when coming past my house every day, and I would see Sugarfoot and Satch and all those guys, and the cars they were driving, and all of that was right here, and the Wilder Brothers, and
oh my gosh, Heat Wave. Oh man.
And then when Slave,
I forgot, right?
Got all their
Slave,
they got their record deal, and they got all them little Trans Ams or little Camaros or something. Everything, and I was dreaming of was right here. And
you're right there. I mean, literally, like in the midst of like a whole sound that's being born and all that stuff.
I knew where all of them used to live at, their old homes to the new homes.
Wow.
You know, and the rise of all those guys and seeing those, and that was just a proud feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And just to know, like even my husband's from Lincoln Heights, Ohio. People always
Mm-hmm.
say Cincinnati, but he's from Lincoln Heights. And so
Okay.
the Isley brothers, and the older Isleys went to school with my mother-in-law.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, and the Isleys is my favorite group in the whole wide world.
There you go.
And so I had all this around me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Bootsy,
Right.
right up the road. Oh, now.
Right. Now you talk about a university. I mean, what more education do you need in the music business than right there?
Right here. There. And running back and forth up 75 was connected to seem like all the music. So you go up to Detroit and you had all the Detroit. You can even go to Philly. Mm-hmm. From here. Mm-hmm. You know, you're surrounded by everything right here in the Midwest is where it was happening at the time. So no, I didn't want to leave Dayton. Got you.
Now, speaking of Dayton and all the music that goes around that's around there, and that I can't imagine. Like, I mean, you live there amongst all these people that were like idols of mine. I mean, Ohio players. I mean, Heat Wave. I mean, I love listening to all these bands, and I'm like just up the street in Akron. And again, I'll come back to the Ohio players because I couldn't get enough of them. Yeah. Whether it be the Westbound days or the Mercury days, I could not get enough of them.
Yep, that's right.
So, I mean, growing up in that, I mean, what. I can't even. I got goosebumps just thinking about that. I can't even imagine. And Lakeside. I mean, the list goes on. The list goes on.
And Lakeside is killing it. Well, Lakeside was killing it last year before COVID.
Right.
They booked so much.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
And I was just over Stevens the other day. Stephen Shockley.
Listen. Now, you guys listen to that. She was just over Stevens the other day. First name. You know. Yeah. Shock. Yeah. She was just over there the other day. So, and that was a question I was going to ask you earlier, as far as like, and I mean, hanging out in a good sense. I mean, did you get a chance to hang out with like a lot of these and kind of learn from them, a lot of these people that we talk about?
I don't know musically if I got to, by listening to them, the music was ingrained in me. Mm-hmm. But to hang out with them, because I was so young, I didn't get to hang out with them like that. Some of them I mean,
as far as like listening and paying attention, like learning from them. That's what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Slave, I get to go to a rehearsal here or there.
Right.
But also, it was so early in my life. At 17, I was in rehearsals all the time. And then I was with Zapp, and we didn't get a break.
Oh.
Okay.
I
was busy. And then like you guys, and then so my friends became Val and Don and Mary and all these people, SOS band. I just love Mary Davis SOS band. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that became my surrounding after that, because when you're on the road, you become a clique, you become a family.
There you go. Exactly. What are some of the lessons that you've learned, like in your career in the music business and otherwise? What are some of the lessons that you could, like for those people that are coming up in the business? What would you tell like a new person? For instance, your son. And I mean, there were the good times, but then there were like some bad things too. And I hate to bring up bad things, but God knows you've been through them.
Yeah, I've been through a lot out there on the road, especially being the only girl on the road. And then having the type of controlling manager that I had for all the things that Larry put me through personally.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay.
But it was good though, because those were my brothers, my road brothers, and we all are still friends today.
Good.
I don't see Lester and Zapp that often because they stay on the road, you know. And I don't really associate with them anymore. But but anyway, so I'm constantly drilling in my son's head. Don't be so eager. Don't be so quick, because just recently somebody contacted him from Atlanta, saying that, oh, I like your stuff, and send your stuff to me, and he had a big name behind him where he had stolen someone's identity. And he submitted this information. Here you go. Here's my information. Had the man's picture up there and everything. So, I teach him about being catfished. I teach him about the drugs still being out there and don't partake.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's your peers and this is what they do and blah, 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 blah. But protect yourself and your image and your brand at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could speak from the latter years of people trying to make me be a part of the, as they call the casting couch or
Mm-hmm.
whatever
Mm-hmm.
they do in the studio to get you to come in the studio. And I tell ladies that I meet, I'm like, don't sell your soul like that, because it's
Thank
not
you
what.
for bringing that up. Thank you so much for bringing that up, because it is still a thing with the women in the business as well.
Man, they're out there selling themselves and exploiting themselves, and they're naked out there, and they're just doing all these things. And I'm like, it didn't if you got talent, it don't take all that to get in the business.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But the business is different today.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how you approach people to get your music played, and that's what me and my son are going through now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the streaming services. So he's teaching me, we were talking earlier. I said, so where are we gonna press my CD? What are you talking about, Mama? People using MP3s and streaming services and all that kind of stuff.
Right. Like you said, there's not even a slot in my car anymore for me to play my stuff. You know.
So I just tell them about the dangers of it,
Uh-huh.
how easily you can get caught up in
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not ready and well prepared for it,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the dangers of things that could happen to you, your music, your career, everything.
Gotcha.
It can come and be gone in a flash.
Good.
You know, even when I left Zapp, I didn't know. I knew, of course I knew all things come to an end, but I didn't know it was going to come to an end that fast. I was so fed up by that time with shenanigans.
By the things that were going on in the band and in the business, or really? Did you get that feeling like back then? I remember there was a time where Switch was concerned. I think it was like our second album where I thought, you know, hey, this is going to be my career. I'm going to be doing this Switch like from now on. Mm-hmm. And then when it ended so abruptly, I mean, did you find yourself? Of course, you made the conscious decision that it's time for you to make a move.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, okay.
But when I made that move, I really thought I was going to stay in the business.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I learned about all the BS out there about the casting couch and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And what I had to do to stay in the business. And I said, well, you know what? I'm a married woman now. So I got married. I wanted to stay focused on being a good wife and a good mother and raise my kids, because a lot of these women in the business, they don't raise their kids. Their kids are being raised by somebody else. And then you wonder why later you don't have a relationship with your child or your children. You know, but a lot of musicians sacrifice like that and have to leave their families, you know. You know, that if that's your job, that's what you got to do. But I chose to stay home. I asked to come off the road. But I probably wouldn't have asked to come off the road because I ain't had no kids then. But I wouldn't have asked to come off the road had it not been for so much drama going on in the organization at that time. And everything seemed to be corrupt. Just everything, credits, everything bogus, you know.
And that you recognize that at a relative young age. I mean, before, you know, it got really, really crazy for you personally. And not saying that what you had gone through wasn't crazy enough, but I mean, who knows what was going to happen. I mean, everything was kind of on a downhill spiral, I guess, right? Or
yeah, it was. And you can tell by the quality of the music that came out after that.
Awesome. That's incredible. So we were talking earlier as far as, and I mentioned as far as like Dayton and it being like the hub of music there. We were talking about the Funk Music Hall of Fame and Exhibition Center there. Tell us a little bit about that.
The Funk Music Hall of Fame, you know, it's really important to have that here. First of all, this is the perfect location for it.
It really is. In light of, especially in light of everybody that we talk about, I mean, everybody was there, you know.
Yeah, and whoever wasn't here was trying to get here.
Right.
Because I would walk out the studio door at any time to see just any band, just, you know, they were coming through the town or something, and they wanted to stop by Troutman studio. And now it's the same thing. I was just driving through and I want to see this museum. And then when they get in that museum, they were so taken aback.
Wow.
They were
Wow.
everything. It was so fascinating. And all the stuff that we had accumulated from donation, the volunteers and donations, people giving stuff to us. And you need that stuff on display so that the youth today can see that for themselves. And
Right.
now they got the history behind some of the music that they're listening to. To hear the story of the players or Fazo or
Fazo.
Dave Zone.
Or
I know. See, I done added some more groups to
like I said, the list goes on. It goes on.
And now we have everything centralized in one place where they can actually come and see it. And especially at the time it being we started at the library. Somebody gave us some space at the new Northwest Library, and we outgrew that space so fast. And so it is in demand. It is a place where people want to see and come visit. And now we're going through another process, moving to another location, which is going to be happening soon too.
Right. Now, I want to make sure you mentioned earlier as far as David R. Webb, he chose you to help him with this. Is that how it goes?
Yeah, he approached me on this a few times, and I kind of dismissed it. And then finally, he told me a little bit more, and I came to a meeting or two and saw what they were trying to do, and I was like, yeah, this is something I really need to be involved in.
Now you're at the very beginning. I mean, when it's only in talks.
No, I came a little bit later than that.
Okay.
Because it took some convincing. I just wasn't sure what they were doing.
Gotcha.
And I just wanted to, I'm just like that.
I understand.
I do my research.
And the business kind of teaches you to be that way, doesn't it?
It does, you be signing and stuff, you don't know what you're signing.
Right.
Join
Exactly.
an organization, you don't know what they're doing.
Yep. Come on over here. We got you.
Yeah, and he kept, that's the way he was like, come on, I got this. And I was like, So I went to a couple of meetings, and I loved what I was hearing. And I said, yeah, this is something I really got to get on board with, especially being the only female funk artist in Dayton, I guess. I don't, just being a female, and I don't think I know a lot of female singers around here, but none on the level that
you are. Right.
And so I was like, yeah, I definitely want to be a part of that. This is something that we really, really are proud of, and it needs
nice.
But people don't realize that we had it and we was up and running, and people from all over the world was stopping by, especially big rock stars, rock concert people was coming from their concerts and saying, well, I just wanted to really stop by here and see what was going on. And then next thing I know, they were sending something to contribute.
Nice.
And so it's just, it's something very fascinating, but what people don't realize is it takes money to run a museum. We need those donations. And even though we're not physically in our building right now, we need the donations and steal from the other people, their artifacts, instead of leaving your artifacts of your loved ones hanging in the attic and in the basement and in the garage.
Come on now. Come on now.
To the Funk Music Hall of Fame and Exhibition Center, so that others can enjoy it just as much as your loved ones would love it. It's just to see your family stuff on a wall, or on a display case, and the stories being told around it. Man.
And like you said, the Funk Music Hall of Fame, funk music is a thing, just like rock music, just like country music, right. And there are museums for them. And this is, as Jannetta just mentioned, I mean, there's all this music that came from Dayton, Ohio, or surrounding areas in Ohio, came from there. And I mean, these are people that these are acts that made a difference. I mean, the bands you played with, I mean, Zapp and yourself, I mean, the difference that you guys made, I mean, you guys defined an era, pretty much defined it. So it's important. Again, I'm going to leave it to you to say the name and what we're donating to, please.
The Funk Music Hall of Fame and Exhibition Center.
In
Dayton, Ohio, the
Dayton,
land
Ohio.
of funk. Hey!
We're both with it. And then the name of your upcoming CD?
We call No Reasons.
No
No Reason.
Reasons. Mm-hmm.
No Reason.
No
And
Reasons.
Eddie,
Okay.
I'm going to send it to you.
Please, please. I can't wait to hear it. And you know I'm gonna post it on my website so people can hear it.
Okay.
Please.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so
And the
much.
book is called Girl in the Band,
Thank you. You beat me to the punch.
My Journey with Zapp.
Thank you. Thank you. That's awesome. It has certainly been a pleasure having you here. Thank you so much for doing this with me. And thank you for the scoops too. I got some scoop. I got some scoop.
Yay! I'm gonna be back out there, and
I'm
gonna
looking
be on. Hey, we got to do something together with Switch.
I look forward to it. And we look forward to it. And I'll be sure to let the guys know we
you
have
know
to.
what? Yeah, you have to, because I gotta tell you this though.
Please.
When out there on the road, Philip.
Uh-oh. Philip Ingram. I'm gonna
That was my man. That was my buddy. Man, he took me under his wing like a little sister.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yep, he sure did.
That's great.
Such a sweetheart. I mean, anytime I was out there in the area, he would come pick me up from the hotel and take me out to eat. We even went to meet his friends, or either went to wash their car. That's just how cool Philip was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
sure did.
It's funny. I'm listening to you talking everything and everything that you've done over the years, and it's like I would say about myself, I'm not the guy like with the megaphone. I let other people do that. I let my work speak for itself. Mm-hmm. And it seems like you're like that same kind of person. I mean, you've done your things, and again, I'm reading through your biography and everything. I'm like, wow, this woman has done a lot, and I don't know that a lot of people know that. So thank you you so much.
I just stayed quietly in the background and did my thing,
There you go. There you go. Well, hey, as people heard you at the beginning of the show, you still got it. I mean, that voice is still there. You haven't lost a thing. And I mean, you were hitting some of those notes in some cases, and I have perfect pitch, not saying anything, but in some of those cases, it's like, wait a minute, she's singing it higher than the original record. So
did I mess it up?
you were singing higher than the original. And I'm like, wow, she still got it. And I mean, sounded really good. So So hopefully we can get you and Philip, or maybe you and Switch, or maybe,
I got to get that happening. Got to get y'all here at the Funk Music Hall of Fame and Exhibition Center.
Yes.
And we're getting ready to do our, I think our grand opening should be coming in springtime. And we're having a funk symposium in the springtime as well in April. I think it's April the 21st, downtown Dayton.
Wow.
So I'll keep you posted on that.
Please.
Yeah.
And I'll be sure to announce that.
Yeah.
Well, Jannetta Warren, the First Lady of Zapp, thank you so much for being with me on the playground. Love it. Looking just as beautiful as always.
Thank you, Eddie. Tell the guys I said hello. Know what? And Greg, make sure you tell Greg I said hello.
Will do.
Greg, actually, I was bugging Greg about my book.
That's Gregory Williams. Oh, and he's got his book out. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I just needed some direction. And Greg was, a lot of people don't like to share information with you or to help you. Mm-hmm. And Greg, he didn't hesitate at all. He was like, what you need? I said, well, Greg, I need to know about this and know about that, and the numbers and the barcodes and the blah, blah, blah. And he was so willing.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Don't get that. You got all of you guys.
Thank you.
I remember all of you guys. Jody, I remember all.
Oh, man, you bet. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. With everything that you got going on, that you still remembered little old us. Thank you.
Yeah, but and so like I said though, but me and Phil, we was real tight back then.
Awesome.
Just cool people.
Thank you. But we're gonna have to sit down and do this again, especially when your stuff comes out, because we're gonna have to talk about that.
Okay, I'm gonna bring it to you.
Please. All righty. Again, Jannetta Warren, First Lady of Zapp, thank you so much for being on the playground where the players play.
All right now.
Thank you.